Hi everyone, Crafty Little Miss is here, and today I'm going to show you how I got this look on my latest Instagram post. So I'm actually going to start with the background, and for that I'm going to do a new layer and fill it with black. Then I'm going to grab a shade of gray and look for one of my favorite texture brushes right now, which is by Bardo Brushes, and this one is called Light Scratch. So with that texture brush, I'm going to go heavier around the edges and then a little bit softer in the middle. And then once I am all finished with that, I am going to hide my background for now and move on to my lettering. One thing I find that helps me with my lettering, because I have terrible handwriting, is to figure out the way I want my lettering to look before and writing it on a layer with pencil, and then I drop the opacity and trace over it. So the layer with pencil is still my handwriting. I just like to make sure I have all my letters uniform before I letter my final product. And a little tip for new letterers, it's something I did when I started. I used to type up words and then trace over them, and just till I got the hang of the flow of words and stuff like that, and it really helped a lot. And now that I'm happy with the way my lettering looks, I'm going to turn my background back on, select the lettering layer, and invert it so I can see a little bit better. For this next part, I'm going to start adding color to my letters. For that, I'm going to need to select the letter layer and alpha lock it. So to start adding colors, I'm going to grab my mid-tone color, and I'm going to just drop the whole color into the layer. Then I'm going to select my darker color and start slowly creating a gradient. Then I take my lighter color and give it a little bit of highlight at the top. After I achieve the gradient I'm looking for, I select Gaussian blur and slide it just a little bit to blend those colors a little more. And now we're going to turn this into 3D lettering by duplicating the original lettering layer. And while still on that layer, I select motion blur and drag it to the right, and depending on how big you want your 3D lettering is how far you drag your finger. The next thing we're going to do is fill this layer. So we want to go ahead and select the layer, and I grab my hard airbrush while the layer is selected and I color over it. And I went ahead and just used the color that the layer is going to be. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and take the red lettering layer and line it up under the yellow. And for this particular style, you shouldn't see any red on the top or the sides. So I want to add a little bit of texture to my lettering. So I grab that same light scratch brush by Bardo Brushes, and in black, I go over both layers. Once the texture's on, it is all done. Alright guys, that's it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn notifications on if you want to get more updates on videos like this. Also, make sure you check out my Instagram and Patreon. I have some really cool things going on. Bye guys!